Hi, how is everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I'm really glad and excited to be here today. Welcome to Money Mondays. This is going to be a series of live webinars and podcasts about the world of finance in the military. A little bit about me. My name is Lydia. I am the JP Morgan Chase Financial Wellness Deploy Fellow at Blue Star Families. This fellowship is a racial equity and inclusion program that is aimed at increasing diversity within leadership in the MSO and VSO space. I'm here courtesy of generous support, financial support by JP Morgan Chase. Thank you very much. I am a Army veteran spouse. I currently live on the East Coast with my family. I have a husband, and I'm a mother of three, one boy and two little girls. Professionally, I'm a lawyer and international development practitioner. And I guess the question would be, what am I doing here? Um, my experience as someone who was foreign born and came into this country courtesy of my husband, who was in the military at the time. It was a horrible time, to say the least. And it is because of that experience that I have now dedicated my time to highlight the issues affecting foreign born military spouses, service members, and their families. This also, to my own passions, include military families of color, because their experiences within the military is far worse, and their outcomes with most issues in the military, including finances, are not acceptable as it is. So as we go in deep into what we'll be discussing, we'll figure out what these issues really are and how we can all help to figure out how to solve some of the issues. Now, I will delve with you a little deep into some of the research that is in this area. To begin with, the Blue Star Family's 2021 groundbreaking study that was titled The Diverse Experiences of Military and Veteran Families of Color provided insight into how military families experience military life, and this revealed that 1 in 3 active duty military respondents of color reported experiencing at least one incident of being threatened or harassed in their local civilian life. 33% of them had experienced this, and 29% experienced this in their communities, and this is since 2020. Now, something else that this study revealed is that spouses of color are 3 times more likely to be unemployed compared to civilian counterparts. They are unemployed at higher rates than whites. They earn about 37% less than the total population. And female active duty military spouses of color experience even worse employment outcomes. The median earnings range between 54 and 65% lower than the total population. I don't think that's acceptable, and there's something that has to be done. And that's the reason why Blue Star Families is dedicated to changing the trajectory of this. As you keep that in mind, I want to remind you something that to me is quite noteworthy. 3 in 10 service members identify as a racial or ethnic minority, and this number is expected to grow in the coming years. Something that's very interesting is that by 2027, very close, we're in 2022, so by 5 years, most recruitable US adults will be people of color. Now connect that to the experiences of the people of color and families of color in the military and tell me where our military is going to be. Their experiences within the military and the communities where these families of color might serve affect the resilience, readiness, retention, and recruiting of our all volunteer force. The main reason for this series of podcasts and live webinars is to increase awareness about financial issues affecting our military, to highlight the resources available, and to discuss ways in which we as a community can help to ease the pain. There are many, many reasons why a focus on finances is important in the military. Come along with me. One of the ones that I feel is the most important one is that almost all, if not all, social determinants of health and well being touch on financial well being. This is courtesy of the fact that none of any of these issues exist in a silo, but are all interconnected. Our military families lifestyle survey, popularly dubbed MFLS, has shown that 63% of military families reported some stress or a great deal of stress about their financial situation. This is according to the 2020 MFLS survey. Further, among active duty enlisted spouses respondents who are unemployed but need or want to work, 20% of them reported low or very low food security, compared to the 10% among active duty enlisted spouses who are working, both full-time and part-time. That goes to show you how important employment is for spouses. Now, the most recent 2021 MFLS reports that spouse un- and underemployment, student loans, out-of-pocket relocation costs, PCS, which is permanent change of station moves, long military housing waitlists, unaffordable civilian housing markets, and expensive rental costs add to the financial burden of military families. Now, out-of-pocket relocation costs are a source of financial stress, according to 29% of active duty family respondents who are experiencing financial stress. Of those, active duty family respondents who state they have tried to build their families through adoption, medical treatments, surrogacy, and or fostering to adopt, over three quarters, 77% report out-of-pocket expenses associated with family building issues. So as I said before, there's so many things that revolve around finances that therefore affect military families. I will be your host every second Monday for a live webinar like this one, and fourth Monday for a podcast where we can delve deep into some of these issues. So please join me as we delve into some of the topics, as we learn and we share stories of people's experiences in the military, listen to experts in personal and family finance who will drop timely and valuable tips and lessons. We will also find resources that can help you better your financial wellness as you navigate military life as a service member, a spouse, a retiree, or an organization that serves the military community. In these sessions, we will be addressing the major financial topics affecting the military, some of which I have alluded to above, or as we talked already. Be prepared to come along as we discuss more about many topics, and I will give you some examples. What are the financial benefits and resources for military and veteran connected families? Here we're talking about education, GI Bill, mortgage, and such like. Now, this would be something special for foreign-born spouses as myself. Where do I begin? Okay, I might share a little bit of my experience. We will delve into this special topic for foreign-born spouses and service members and those who are connected to their families. Well, generally, it will be a topic that if you want to learn something different and hear someone else's experience, it would be good for you too. We will talk about How do you get acclimated to the American financial system? I know I was so green. I didn't know anything about the American financial system, and it took a while for me to totally understand what this really entailed. What is credit? What is a credit score? I didn't know any of that. Credit cards, how do you get them and how do they affect your credit score? Do you want to enroll in school and how do you do that? Some of us had to have our credentials evaluated. What do you do? Where do you go? Um, how about your profession? I know I came in as a lawyer and I was shocked to find some of the things and information that I met here. How do you get connected to a local and military community? I suffered because I didn't know any, but at least now I know that there are ways to go about it. And I want to be part of helping you figure that out. We will also talk about childcare. Where would you go to find childcare as a military spouse? What are the resources available for childcare? We'll also delve deep into spouse unemployment. What is being done and how can you gain from some certain special provisions that cater for uh, military spouses? We'll talk about student loans, student loan forgiveness, public service loan forgiveness programs. There are certain things and provisions that can help you lower your student loans. I know it is one topic that many Americans deal with, and it would just be good to figure out how to go about it. How about consumer debt? I know it's one of the things that many military families consider one huge problem. So it will be fun to understand the root cause and also figure out the things to do to avoid or how to deal with consumer debt. Housing, PCS. Right now, it's a crazy season. Many families are moving from one place to another. So, how about some tips? On housing, we will discuss mortgage, military housing, stipend or BHA, as popularly known in the community. We'll also delve into healthcare, food insecurity, taxes, inflation. This is one of the things I really want to delve into because, as we know, currently the inflation rate is high. And so, what can we do? How do we save during inflation? Budgeting when shopping, because we really need to budget at this time. How do we find online resources that can help curb the food costs right now? Resourceful ways in which we can stock our pantries. Finally, there's three other things that I really like to talk about. Entrepreneurship. How about talking to some of the military spouses that have done great things and continue to do with entrepreneurship? We know some of the spouses have really good military spouse-owned businesses. Let's learn how to make passive income, how to start a small business, the financial support you might need and where to get it from, mentorship from some of the spouses that have really done well in this sector, bookkeeping, and many other things that are encompassed in entrepreneurship. Financial literacy. This is such a hip topic, but it's fun because it covers so many things. For example, saving, retirement, investment, generational wealth, estate planning, budgeting. How about teaching or talking to your kids about finances? I think I would like to do that. I would want to raise kids that are financially literate so that, if at all I leave generational wealth, they will be able to take care of it as well. And finally, insurance. There's life insurance, there's disability insurance, and there's a whole lot of other types of insurance that, can help us build generational wealth, can help us, leave our family secured and things like that. As you can see, there'll be a lot to talk about. And I want to welcome you to join me, another amazing panelist I have lined up for you in the weeks and months to come. We all know, or I want to let you know, that BSF Welcome Week will be between the 9th, we will be between the 24th of this month and October 2nd. And as part of this period, Blue Star Families goes out big time. I promise you, big time to help all military families feel welcome wherever they are. We will be discussing for our very first show, because today is just an introduction. We will be discussing something that affects many military families, sadly so, food insecurity. We will delve into what are the root causes of food insecurity in the military. What exactly is happening right now around this issue? Who is doing what? Where? Who is affected and why? Because I don't understand you know, why a military family should be food insecure. Now, we will figure out possible solutions, how to find resourceful ways to stock our pantries, as I said before, and talk about the connection between financial literacy and food insecurity, because I know there's definitely some kind of connection. And finally, how racial equity and inclusion plays into food insecurity, because it has been found that families of color suffer more when it comes to finances and many other aspects of military life. So let's figure something out together. Now, I hope to see you on September 29th for our first show, Tackling Food Insecurity. Please come yourself, your neighbor, your friends, and listen in. I promise you the panelists will be great, okay? And the discussion will be good, and you will get all kind of resources that you need. In the meantime, please feel free to contact me for more information, questions, or suggestions. My contacts will be down in the chat, okay? For now, I would like to leave you with one of the sentences that works for me as a call to action. And I want to hope that it does work for you as well. If not me, who? And if not now, when? Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you soon. So our first show is on the 29th of this month, 2 weeks from now. I hope to see you then. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.